Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, our journey to self realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring the book Yoga Essays for Self Improvement, authored by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. And currently, we are on the topic of bliss and how to experience it. Tamasic pleasure is a perverted pleasure and arises in a mind that delights in causing suffering in others. This form of happiness is painful from beginning to the end, but it appears comfortable to the crude mind. These shlokas are deeply explained in the Bhagavad Gita. According to Vedanta, happiness is essential in every soul. You would be convinced of this fact if the state of deep sleep was closely examined. Nature presents this illustration daily, for it is an experience that no one can live without even for a single day. See how much attention or how much concern is given in order to experience sleep. If happiness depended on objects, sleep would have been considered a kind of deviation, a boring phenomenon. But that is not so. Note how a person prepares a bed with soft cushions and pillows. All that is not for the comfort of the pillows afford, but for the sake of entering into a sleep where the pillows, the bed, the room, and all else is forgotten, even time and space. Furthermore, if someone suddenly wakes you up and you are as if annoyed because you get disturbed from your sweet sleep, even if children who are sleeping deeply are offered sweets with tempting cries of sweet sweets, they will wake up with a tremendous annoyance. This is all because there is the experience of the bliss in the self during sleep. Although this bliss manifests only through a veil of ignorance, it still gives sufficient proof that deep within there is a state, a level which does not depend on objects of the world, from which happiness emerges in abundance. Another important point about bliss is that it is not a quantitative experience. Rather, bliss is indivisible and eternal. So, in the state of self realization, Chandogya Upanishad dramatizes an episode about sage Narada, who, before he attained enlightenment, pursued various branches of learning, including dance, music, all the fine arts, and all the subjects of science of that time. Still, he had not found the experience of bliss. He therefore went to sage Sanaka, who said, O Narada, all that you have learnt is finite. And so there is a great Upanishadic affirmation that which is infinite, in that alone is bliss. Yo vai bhuma tat sukham na alpam sukhamasti. Bliss does not reside in anything finite. Bhuma is the word of meaning unbounded bliss. There is no happiness in the finite. In other words, as long as your consciousness is mingled with finite objects, you will not have the experience of bliss. Even though bliss is your essential nature, you reside in bliss. But since you have forgotten it, we become miserable, unhappy. But in the state of self realization, a person turns away from the senses and does not even depend upon the mind. Mind becomes quiet, like a calm lake. You see your reflection, and that is what meditation does, or deep sleep state does. In that state, the entire personality is transcended and infinite bliss alone manifests. That is why it is called Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. In relation to that ocean like bliss, all the pleasures of the world are just like a drop. Another Upanishad called Taittiriya Upanishad describes the degree of bliss. One can experience degrees of happiness. Suppose a human being has everything he desires, he is young and has the world under his control. Consider that as one unit of happiness. An ordinary person in the Gandharva world would experience 100 times such happiness on a regular basis. A god experiences 100 times more than the Gandharva. So these measurements are like light years. You don't calculate um, earthly distance in light years, but you need light years for measuring the stars and the galaxies. Much in the same way, this human versus other expectations of happiness are using the same measurement. They go in geometric proportions, way beyond human comprehension. 100 times that godly experience is Indra's experience. 100 times that is Brihaspati's experience. 100 times that is Brahma's experience, and so on and on it goes. Until it concludes by saying that the bliss is experienced, that bliss that is experienced in a state of self realization is beyond the world of relativity. There cannot be any measurement to that. That is Bhuma, it is beyond all measurements. The bliss of the self cannot be measured. In fact, it's the bliss that is of the self that is giving you peace, contentment, joy, and all the happiness that you are seeing through the self refracted in the world. Even the joy of thousands of Indras or celestial lords becomes just a drop compared to the joy experienced by a mind in which desires have become extinct through self realization. So, self realization, that is why our channel focuses on, and our mission in life is to guide aspirants towards the journey of self realization, the journey to self, identifying that you have within you all the resources you need to be happy, blissful, successful. Amrita or nectar is your birthright. We are all entitled to it. So that is what we are doing through our small not for profit Swami Jyotirmayananda Society. And Swami Jyotirmayananda, our Guru, is an enlightened master. Under He studied under Swami Shivananda Maharaj of Rishikesh Divine Life Society, and now our Guruji Swami Jyotirmayananda is 92, and he's been guiding serious spiritual aspirants on this holy path for many decades. And we have both now given our life to Swamiji after taking sannyasa, and it's a blissful, joyful journey. And whoever comes and joins us also connects with that bliss. So, self realization, always remember, is the goal. That is what we should do in the human body. We have been created to know God, to get connected to Him, not to suffer, not to get stuck in the worldly, transient pleasure and pain principles. But most people don't know it because they are too stressed, running day to day from their worldly duties, which are all rajasic and mostly tamasic. Then, to get out of rajas, they do tamasic activities, intoxication, drinking, and so on, which further degrades them. But yet, the choice belongs to the individual soul. Whoever wants to come out of it can and will. The divine plan will do so, but the desire has to come from them. So, you are that ananda, that bliss, that blessing is yours. It is for you to find, to explore. Bliss absolute. How amazing it is that that treasure is hidden right within us, but we simply don't know it. While it is all the time for us to be taken. So may that bliss be realized. Hari Om Tat Sat. So tomorrow we will be studying a beautiful new chapter, how to change your life. So many of us want to change, but we don't know how. So this chapter, this beautiful topic will guide us on that path. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Hari Om Tat Sat.